Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7. Go 7, go 7, go 7, go 7.
Hello everyone, hello, it's been a long time. It's been over 2 weeks. Welcome. Go7, the penguins that are falling apart while I was away. I need to discipline them and bring them back into the fold. Oh my goodness. But yeah, look at this. Now I have, I guess you guys can see it too. Oh, thank you, Alligatua. Now I have chat functions here, and if I say hi here, it says it in Twitch and YouTube, so now it will pop up. I probably won't be using that much. It'll pop up there and there. Okay, ooh, this is also a new month. And you know what new months mean. That means I can just give away these, I don't even know what they're called. Memberships, I guess. Go. Be gifted. Fluffy, do you get this every single time? How? I'll do it again. Such is my power. It is rigged. There we go. I don't know why it's so slow. We're back. We're back, and we even get to look at the Go7 game. Alligatua is right here. I do think you have to like turn on the ability to accept gifted things on YouTube or something. I don't know how it works. like this is fitting pretty decently. It's down here, I guess. Yeah, face to the right, looking good. Wow, for some reason, the replay viewer still has not updated this version of the map. It still sees this as it's like impossible to reach this airport. I wonder why that is. I guess the replay viewer is like, I know I got the first version and I'll never ever update it. Oh. Good to be back. This is important. Go7, you had a similar issue when you recorded the video? Oh. Well, on this map, I don't think it really matters because there's only one big change, right? It's just this situation. On other maps, it matters more. Did I forget to turn on? Am I lagging? Oh, yeah. Is there a big gap in between when you're seeing things? It should be the same as it always has been. I haven't changed anything. I was out of town. Go7. YouTube has accepting gifts disabled by default. You have to turn it on. I see. Well, thank you, Soul for Rent, for all the gifted memberships. I should add more emotes. Elgadoo had a map issue pop up halfway through a video. Oh no. That's awful. Snapbackies Go7. Then delete the map ID. Wow. I mean, I guess we can try it right now. We're not in any rush, right? I'm still in my summer vacay for a bit. So you want show in folder. Go up one level. Okay. Terrain. Oh. What's the map ID? There's game ID, but that's not map ID. How would I know the map ID? Because, oh, there's a lot of maps in here. All just a series of numbers. It's the map ID on Advanced Wars by Web. Okay. 121257. One, 2, 1, 5, 7. And you say I just delete this? Alright. What's the worst that could happen? Be deleted. Okay, so now you're saying if I click on this now. Hey, it's fixed! Oh, look at that. We've done problem solving. Technical difficulties immediately. It does mean you guys won't get to see all the illegal movement. How did we get Kindle back to tier 3? Did she get kicked out of tier 3? It's an 8 or 9 second delay. It definitely shouldn't be an 8 or 9 second delay. The only thing I could think of for that... well, there's nothing I can do about it without restarting the stream. Your viewers will suffer 1 hour so the penguins could thrive. Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be an 8 or 9 second delay. It does look like Streamlabs updated, so maybe it reset a bunch of stuff. I don't think I can do anything about that kind of thing during a stream. So this one will have a little bit of delay. Very sorry, very sorry. Rex became a member. Oh, thank you, King Rex. Okay. So let's hop into this game. I've definitely... You'll probably notice it in this game, but I've definitely had a harder and harder time actually playing games because I stop... I don't know, it's very different. I don't think about playing the game anymore. I'm usually just thinking about how I talk about games now. So I feel so awkward playing. And you'll see a bunch of weird... I don't know if there's a bunch, but some weird mistakes because of that. My vacation, unfortunately, was not to Antarctica because I'm vacationing away from Antarctica. I don't know if it's even rusted. I just don't think about the game like I used to. It's weird. But yeah. So, this is my first time, I think my first time playing on this map. Maybe the second. This map was made by Starflash. And I was like, okay, it's very, I guess, reminiscent of Stalingrad. So I expect to have a pretty uninterrupted, like, early game. And I'm going to try and go super greedy, as is my namesake. I know there's, like, a single APC opener out of this base, but I'm going to try and go double APC opener. That I'll be accelerating the captures up here and into the middle. I'm going to mess it up a little bit because I think I only really planned it for like the first 5 or 6 turns, and then I was just like, let the game do itself. Very un-Go7 of me. But there we go. We have our first APC. I'm not sure about the timing on going back to this airport either. I think that might be something that could be adjusted. But I do also feel a little bit more validated in going for early APCs because I am against Drake. So the APC is going to have value throughout the whole game, even if it's not transporting, because I'm gonna have to deal with all of the fuel problems on such a large map for both my air units, and I'm planning to pair my APCs with medium tanks. Because usually the medium tank has got some fuel issues against Drake. MathGuy? I have no idea who MathGuy is. I do a little city skip. Looks like MathGuy did a city skip as well. Yeah, there's our other APC. Okay. Apparently MathGuy's just floating a bunch of cash, so you might see like double tank or maybe artillery. Okay, we're going artillery, recon, infantry. As you can see, the map's really big, so unless they rushed out a bunch of recons and I ran right into them, I'd be getting some pretty free value of the APC. It's mainly going to come down to when... Ooh, our first boost for value. Or no, we had a boost for value over here too. Both EPCs doing their job. It's going to come down to when the fighting actually happens, whether or not I have enough stuff. Gotta tell me about the CO changes. Will there be stealths? I thought about going for stealths, just because I have double APC. But the initial plan is going to be a really slow army. Early captures for money. I want to try and deny the comm towers just so my units don't die so quickly. So that's what the artillery's goal is to get over here to this forest and then try and deny this comm tower. It's a little bit dangerous because it's a nice forest, but it's also a little exposed. I would prefer if a forest was like down here that I could use, but that is what it is. Go, artillery, go! Go over here, unload to go for this city. Hop into this APC. Over here, drop off to go for this city right away. Over here, they all have their little tasks. I'm going to do a little bit of a city skip here to go for this city rather than this one. Just let this guy go for this one. I'm still not too worried about any really big early aggression. With double APC going for these early captures, I feel pretty safe in weathering even a few interruptions. Okay, capture, and things are going to start getting a little... I think now we're going to start seeing some weird mistakes start popping up. Okay, hop into the ABC. Yeah. Is there a way I could do the... Yeah. Okay. So first... I mean, you'll see it. Okay, so I'm unloading the infantry here. With, like, in my mind, the plan is to go for this city. And next turn, I'm going to immediately disagree with myself. I'm going to be like, wait a second. There's no way I can get that city. And that being the case, what I should have done is gone over here and gone for this city. If I'm still going to boost. Or I could just set it up to go for these cities. That's what this guy's doing. Yeah, okay. This guy goes up here, unload here, try and get this city quickly. I feel like this one's much harder for me to get because the units kind of come out in this direction, and I'm crossing the center to go for that. Recon spots me. All the cities getting captured. They're a little bit ahead of where my opponent's currently capturing. Doesn't know that I don't have this one yet. And then out comes tons of tanks, just sending everything down here. Okay. I feel very safe with all these captures, just because they're really annoying for my opponent to mess with. And you're going to see another mistake. So you can see the mistake isn't, I guess, this turn, but next turn. I move the infantry in range to capture this city next turn. I'm going to put my tank on it. Just fine, just to make the tank a pretty decent spot to cover stuff. The artillery's inching its way over to this forest, guarding these captures. And yeah, and now this guy feels really awkward. And could have been starting capturing this city, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered because MathGuy actually has an artillery in range to deny that city anyway. So I still consider it a mistake, but in this case, it's going to work out. He's going to chill over here, hiding in these woods. I've got my copters coming out. Air units don't really like these really big maps against Drake because of the fuel drain, but I feel pretty secure with the double APC in going for a large air force. Okay. So my opponent's doing the very much strong side, weak side maneuver. I'm sort of doing the same thing, except I have a lot of my early game vehicle money in these APCs. But I also have all my vehicles kind of over here, and all my infantry on the other side. So I'm dropping this guy off so I can check to see the status of this comm tower, because I do want to lock that down. I see it's being captured presently. And I'm going to send some infantry in there to delay its capture. And also go for this capture at the same time, hoping that I'm kind of overloading the defenders over here, that maybe they'll have to deal with this, let this city go. Probably shouldn't have gone for this city, though. Okay. I move the tank off the city with the idea that my infantry is going to capture the city, but instead, I just walk on by. Because, you know, because I guess I just wasn't thinking. It's not the worst thing, because this guy can still go back to start the capture. I'll have another infantry on this front, but it's still not what I had planned out. I do get my artillery into these into the forest here. You can see I'm kind of trying to defend as many fronts on this forest as possible, so that if my opponent dives into it, they can only hit it from one side. Do I like blowing out the pipe seam? I don't think blowing out the pipe seam really matters that much. It's not like you really want this base sending stuff like this. It's not really that much better than going like this. And same, I don't think it's really better for this base to be going like down and through here in comparison to going up here. So I don't know what the pipe seam's point is. Because I've got triple artillery set up, because I do not have any aggression in mind here. I'm just going to try and kind of make a stallish out front over here, denying the comm tower. And here's our first medium tank. So the general composition is going to be copter, medium tank, artillery. I'm feeling pretty secure in that composition fighting Drake. It'd be a little weak against like a lot of copters, but Drake's not going to have a ton of copters most likely. And even if they do, my copters will be stronger. Drake does go for the Neo tank. It has a really large number of offensive vehicles over here. Doesn't have great intel on what my defending forces are. Otherwise, could probably have dived in. And made me a little sad there. I do get this comm tower for free, and I have my artillery here to deny this one, which I'll do. And I'm feeling a little secure in this situation here because of the double APC to transport infantry over. I'm willing to send some in to disrupt captures, especially in range of an artillery. So we'll do just that. And then I'm anticipating some sort of fight over this capture, so I'll start sending some stuff down here. Boost in infantry, and I'll build a mech to meet up with the APC. I'm trying to figure out how I want to like maneuver my artillery into the situation. I think I ultimately decided to go into the forest and just kind of forest hop around, because all these forests are conveniently a perfect artillery move away from each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get into that one. So again, this is set up so my opponent like maybe reveals from this tile or this tile. And in any case, this artillery is going to get a shot. Down goes that infantry. Rest in peace. This infantry survives at 1. I think my opponent's going to regret sending this recon in here. They do have most of their tanks together, but now they're kind of, I'd say thinly stretched, because they have a lot of, or a decent number of infantry kind of up here, battling my units here, and then most of their vehicles kind of went way down here into the corner. I wouldn't recommend that. Just because you like to have your units and it like as flexible a position as possible. Right now, a lot of these things can only fight over this property. So currently, even though I think I've lost the most units so far, I'm doing pretty darn well when it comes to unit value. I'm only 7k behind at the start of my turn, when I should be like 12k behind or so. If it's your classic even game. So I'm going to kill off that recon. Unfortunately for my opponent, this is their only recon on this front. I'll go for this smack. Usually this front's pretty infantry starved, but I have the double APCs, so I can resupply it very quickly. We go back for the mech. Also going back for a mech over here. Artillery deny the comm tower. I'm going to start moving some of these infantry down here, I think, because I don't think my opponent has like anything up here that can prove to be aggressive. And then we'll go for a medium tank copter. The idea being like the medium tanks can one-shot the opposing anti-airs, and then the copters can deal with everything else while the artillery is trying to hold the line. Oh, Kindle's tier 2 now? Wow. So here I have the copters defending this tank. The artillery is still being fairly defensive over here. They're not really guarding this tank at all, other than like if something came down for vision purposes it'd be guarding. They're just kind of set up to deny this city, deny the comm tower continually. Well, the two tanks go in here. It's pretty much to be expected, but I don't expect my opponent to have enough anti-air to deal with the whole copter swarm that'll be incoming soon, and I'll be able to guard my copters with the artillery. The anti-air is really far back here. It does guard this tank nicely and most of this tank, so it's far back but in reach, which is kind of what you want, because you really don't want your anti-air to get sniped. None of my copters have been spotted so far, so MathGuy has not built another anti-air. Know about them now though, as I go in smack smack, artillery fire. I kill off this tank. Smack, smack. This artillery doesn't reach. It's a little bit awkward in its placement. I do mess up a tiny bit here because I move my recon so that I lose vision. Is it my recon? Yeah, I lose vision for this artillery fire, which is a little awkward. Definitely don't do that. So this infantry is going to get vision. Smack, smack. Bring in the tanks. Start bringing in the mechs. And more medium tanks. Okay. I know, I moved the recon. Kind of makes my infantry pretty exposed. MathGuy is really defensive up top. Like, we've been fighting over this one. I haven't even contested this at all, but it's a little iffy to send vehicles up here and still be very defensive, but that's okay. Medium tanks. When you see a lot of games that look like this, nice. It's just a strong adherence to the strong side, weak side doctrine. So now that both of these artillery get spotted, they're going to start being dove in upon. The Neo tank even dives in. This goes down. This looks like it lives at 1. This one gets tagged. The anti-air does go down here. Unfortunately, MathGuy doesn't have any other anti-air over here. And the medium tank can finish this off, but there's still quite a few strikes for MathGuy. But then MathGuy just kind of resigns, which I am definitely surprised by. Because this attack, it's not awful, right? Got some decent strikes. The only bad thing I really see going for MathGuy here is that the anti-air is going to get taken out, and then there's just going to be a long time before a replacement anti-air shows up, and the copters can kind of do their thing. And the fact that this comm tower is being denied, that might be just too much of a hit to the morale. But, like, got the double artillery to come and try and defend the anti-air. It's definitely not a lost cause. Yeah, I think on this map... the comm towers are pretty much the only thing to contest early on. Because it's like the lab doesn't do anything for you, and you have to dive really deep to go for these cities. So I think the comm towers are pretty much the prime targets. Yeah, I think Drake's position is fine. They're even ahead in income right now because of this city. It's the only thing I can think of is the lack of the comm tower, and then losing the anti-air without having a replacement on the way is the only thing that is really standing out to me. This copter doesn't reach unless I use a super. I'm probably not using a super, so it's not even like that big of a punish turn. The artillery will like back up. I'll kill off the anti-air. Might fire with this artillery, get a tank shot too. Yeah, I don't think... Well, yeah, Andy won't super first unless you get a lot out of it. I think the copters will prove an issue, but otherwise it seems like it's still perfectly fine to go ongoing game. The fact that no infantry are starting to capture the comm tower does mean that... I mean, this guy can move into range, but I'll probably be able to deny it continually. Do I even blind commit the Bopter here? Well, this Bopter's probably just going to go after one of these tanks over here. Stay in range of the medium tank. This guy can't reach. So it'll still be a few turns, or like one turn before the copters are really tearing everything apart. So definitely it was a surprising resign. I think Drake's still in a pretty decent position. They haven't spent their money yet, so I'm not really that far. I mean, I guess I'm still doing pretty darn well value-wise, considering I just got first struck, but it's not like it's the end of the world. The mechs are on their way. I mean, Andy could use the normal power. Sometimes you do that, but not usually. Yeah, GG. A surprising resign. I think the APCs were just barely able to stabilize a fight, and I did successfully deny the comm tower, which I like. But there was definitely a few really weird mistakes that I made. And maybe going for like this city earlier would be good. I didn't expect it to be quite so contested. Maybe they were scared of me. That's very possible. It's happened before. My MathGuy seems like a good, strong player. They were like rank 10 in Fog. No need to be scared of little old me. Why didn't that find Inland Emperor? versus Shikabane. For sure. I haven't updated the backlog yet. It's not giant, enormous. I think I maybe got 7 new submissions or something while I was off on vacay. Guess I can kind of put it in the like this. Sure. My computer was hibernating. It's true. It's true. Yeah, this is Sami against Von Bolt in Fog. I can only assume this is some sort of challenge going on. Let me see if this is Global League. Looks like Inland Emperor is a Sami specialist, we'll say, as it looks like all their games they play Sami. You know what, I'll make them colorize for that. Okay. Will we see mech spam? I imagine we'll see some mechs. It's definitely, having played Sami versus Von Bolt, not in Fog, but in High Funds, I can tell you that it is not a fun experience. Von Bolt kind of crushes you. Doesn't even do that poorly in the infantry fights. So we'll see how this goes. I would expect that Sami is going to rely very, very heavily on artillery, because Sami doesn't make them any worse, and the extra firepower they have matters a lot when trying to take out the Von Bolt units. The HQ is also a little bit exposed, so maybe an artillery push could start attacking that, and then you have the possibility of a victory march win, or at least a threat of one. The comm tower is a little bit easy to dive in on, because you can kind of like wait in these woods and then victory march go for it. So it could also be a possibility for Sami. I guess the airports on the sides here are also very vulnerable for being taken out. I don't know if stealths are banned on this map, but if they aren't, then that could also be a Sami victory condition, is like try and take both airports and build stealths from them. It is true. Okay, yeah, I should look at how they're capturing. So Von Bolt went for an early comm tower plus a recon. The recon makes a lot of sense for just attacking Sami, especially with the infantry having to like get the shortcuts over the rivers. I don't know why Shikabane went for an early comm tower like that. Getting plus 20% firepower can matter. No, I think it takes 30% firepower for the recon to knock an infantry down to 3, if I remember correctly. So you still can't deny the city captures. You still get the same 2-hit KOs. So I'm not sure why the comm tower was rushed there. It must just be their capture order. I'm surprised they're going from the comm tower back here rather than like have the recon not here and instead have the infantry go here. I would have expected these recons for Von Bolt to be way more aggressive, as they want to just kind of pick on these poor Sami infantry. But Sami also went for the early comm tower, so that might just be the meta on this map, in fear of it getting contested. Ooh. Okay. The Inland Emperor is going for some nice mech production. We have the artillery coming out here. I think this tank is just to deter recons. We'll see if Von Bolt goes for the strike here. You kind of have a choice, right? You can strike this infantry and then kind of set yourself up to kill it next turn, or you can just kind of zoom up and hit one of these infantry that are in worse terrain, so you do more damage. There's a lot of backup infantry over here. Von Bolt would really have loved to have both recons on this front right now. Strike, strike, kill this off. Okay. It's this infantry. It was just fine. The Sami privilege, of course, is that this will still get to capture the property. And luckily, there's actually going to be mechs ready to help defend it. So now it doesn't feel quite so great for that recon to stick around and finish off this infantry like it would like to. As tends to be the plan against Sami. You hit them, they get their city, but then you get to kill their infantry, and you start going up in units, and you're happy about that. But the mechs are actually there in time. Recon, beep beep. Takes a strike here. We do have a Sami tank around to help protect that infantry. There we go. Yeah, take a strike against one of the more vulnerable infantry. I like it. Looks like we're going to try and just completely pressure this front. Going for the comm tower capture. It's actually kind of a nasty one too, because so many of Sami's units are over here that this lone recon plus this infantry squad probably is enough to take this comm tower. Like, the tank has to deal with the recon. So now infantry have to go forward to help deny this comm tower, but there's going to be enough stuff here for Von Bolt to get some nice trades. We'll see whether or not Von Bolt insists on continuing this capture, but it's definitely a possibility. Oh my gosh. A big Sami line over here. Looks like we're just going to continue producing mechs out of this just mech chain all game long out of this base. It's not the worst. I mean, the vehicle paths out of here aren't very desirable, and the mechs do go across the river, onto a mountain, into the woods, and then onto a city. So they have a really nice path onto the front line, and they do get there pretty quickly. But so far, this entire attacking force has kind of been slowed down by a single recon. Interesting. So I don't really like this infantry stepping off of this comm tower to do this. I would probably just either continue capturing here, or I would step up to see this guy and then attack that with the other infantry. Decides to go for these captures instead. Not guarded by the tank, but that's okay. Infantry struck at the pipe seam. Okay, falling back over here, building another recon, getting an anti-air. This is a very early anti-air because these airports are not online in any aspect. I would go for a tank over an anti-air just because it's cheaper and it won't get as blown up by Sami vehicles. I mean, the anti-air can one-shot infantry and can one-shot mechs, but it also kind of gets wrecked by mechs as well. So while it does get that one-shot, it costs 8,000 and mechs cost 3,000. So if you end up trading an anti-air for a mech, you actually kind of cry. So if it's like, maybe there's like 1 or 2 mechs, but if you've seen like an entire train of mechs, then usually not the best approach to go with anti-airs, unless you have like a ton of them, I guess. I didn't see, where's Fred? There's Fred. Bop, bop. They get the kill. Sami privilege. When it comes to these infantry fights, Sami can actually kill off Von Bolt infantry on properties, which usually is not something that can happen. And the Sami attack force is looking pretty good with these artillery down here. We have the medium tank on the way. We have a really late APC from Von Bolt. Looks like this city is going to get flipped. And this tank goes down. Very painful. The infantry start falling over here as well. Probably should have this infantry stand here to go for the strike, just to occupy the tile. I guess it doesn't really matter. The tank's not going to strike from here with the artillery here anyway, but still. Whoa! Sends the anti-air in here to contest that that capture into artillery range. Okay, the recon does strike it, but I'm pretty sure this artillery is known about. And like, I don't know if this mech was necessarily known about. I think it was. So we're going to see some really good exchanges here for Sami. There we go. Start capturing this comm tower. Even more pressure. This is a really nice setup over here. I think the attack over here is going to be disastrous. This is going to be an anti-air. It's going to live. It's going to live because this was hit down to 5. But it's going to get shot. Oof. First action is to start capturing the comm tower. Going for the double time. Okay, well, I take it back. The anti-air is not going to live. Down goes the recon. Down goes the recon. There goes the infantry. Mech strikes the anti-air. I guess the infantry finishes it off. Start going for a capture over here. Good attack. Continuing to deny that comm tower. Right. I don't think you need to strike from the city like this. I think it's fine to use like the 7 and the 4 to kill this off and then just start the capture over here to be a little more imposing, but that's okay. Medium tank starts coming in. Double time. Looking pretty good here. It does mean that the victory march isn't going to be an immediate threat. Going for an APC as well here for Sami. Late game APCs. I'm a little surprised at the strike over here with the comm tower, but I guess it's just really didn't want Von Bolt to get the comm tower capture that turn. As you see, it's going to be... It does mean that this tank survived. It's going to be kind of a futile effort to save the comm tower overall. Same over here. Von Bolt really should not have attacked this comm tower, especially against Sami. Sami gets it anyway. So it looks like we're going to start entering into an HQ race. Judging by where Von Bolt is sending the units, and we just built a rocket. Rockets tend to be pretty good at HQ races, but they're not very good with HQ races against Sami. They don't quite delay it as well as you'd like. It is in the woods with the sights on the HQ. Sami's just gonna go for medium tanks instead, rather than some sort of... I'm not quite sure why Sami sent that tank in there, but instead of going for a rocket. Okay, this is going to be another case of like, Yes, anti-airs are good against mechs. Yes, they will indeed one-shot a 3 health mech. But the exchange is not going to end up being amazing. This was basically to kill off the 5 health artillery here. Just slow down like the blackbow capture, I assume. Here, Sami really doesn't need to actually go for the HQ. Also, oh, you can see the rocket. Oh, I see the rocket's not in the woods. Well, in the woods, it still reaches the HQ. Here, it does defend the HQ against the medium tank. Getting a rocket over here for Sami. Okay, so I wasn't sure if Sami was going to try and just front switch the vehicles over here and fight the Vomble army around this HQ. Just be like, if you see double rocket built over here, then you can be pretty sure that your vehicle army is going to be stronger, even if it's Vomble against Sami. I think you probably could go over here and just kind of win this fight. With the reinforcements for your and everything. Blackbow starts going down. It's down to 4. Sami isn't really anywhere close to a victory march here. I'm really surprised that Von Bolt is going for the HQ race, because in the long term, you would expect Von Bolt to have the advantage in the fighting. Oof. Oh. Was is Sami... Okay, yeah, this is what I would definitely suggest. Don't try and, like, fight into this. Especially as Sami, where you can just kind of wait for your victory march to get it. We are going to go for an Ex Machina. This could be disastrous. I think it's going to land up here. If the way this can be nasty is if it like lands over here somewhere and stuns these 2 Sami units next to the HQ, because they will work as blockers. Hello. This is Rocket Man. Recons for the rockets. Absolutely wild that this rocket is working as a blocker for the other rockets. Very expensive blocker. Okay. So this base did get stunned. So this turn the rocket can't fire, but next turn it will be able to fire. The mech goes in, smacks the rocket, does 5 damage. I'm not even sure if you want to do that. The mech might be more valuable to be saved for a power, but I mean, if you're looking just pure money-wise, this is going to be pretty good, because that's 8,000 in value dealt to this guy, and only costing 3,000. And it was the last shot of this mech, so this mech's already gotten some good value. It's true, Alligatua. That's what you build all these rockets. They just leave you. The enemy just says toodles, and the rockets cannot follow. They are slow. Okay, so I expect the Vomble army over here is trying to like retreat and get some pot shots off, but I think it's going to end up losing most of its stuff as it's running away. We get 2 medium tanks to attack in here, another one to follow up, tank to follow up. Down goes that tank. The artillery gets knocked down to 1. It does survive. Vombolt versus Sami privilege there. There goes that tank. recon beep beep the center. A little bit greedy for Sami to go for this capture, but it's okay, I guess. This recon is known about, but I guess this tank is supposed to be the big deterrent. Oh, never mind. The recon decided to attack from the woods. Well, now a medium tank could come in here. Smack the recon. It'd feel pretty safe because none of these rockets can get in range to actually defend it. But we'll see what Sami does. Currently, they're still even in income, although it looks like the comm tower over here is going to quickly fall to Sami. Ooh, airport coming online. Recon following. The mechs dive in. Get as many kills on the retreating forces as possible. That infantry gets taken out. We got the Sami infantry coming in here to go for all these captures now. This guy probably doesn't need to be quite so scared, but it reaches the city, so it's fine. This guy's going to go for this comp tower. Indeed, we are going to come in here, hit with the tank. I'm not, or with the medium tank. I'm not sold on this tank coming in, but whatever. Do what you will. Things are looking mighty strong for Sami, and this black boat is still at 4, and will be until it's injured more. It can't heal up for Von Bolt here. So it's always going to be in range of getting taken out by something, and then Sami does Victory March taking this HQ. My pack sprite. Who needs airports? Okay, airport captured there for Sami. Looking good. We have artillery coming in here to nice position to deny this comm tower, or at least contest it, and the city. We do have rockets coming in, so it's going to be a little bit dicey to hold with artillery against those just because they outrange you, but we also have a really nice unit count advantage for Sami, so that makes the rockets have kind of a hard time, as with more units you get more spotting with your excess units, so you can spot the recon, the rockets, and then dive in and take them out. They are really, really paper thin. This infantry does live. We have the infantry chilling on these mountains in the corner, which are really annoying to deal with. Von Bolt is now going for the airport of their own. We have a rocket here that this tank is discovering the hard way. Anti-air now not to deal with mechs, but to actually deal with the air units. Inland Emperor going to get a huge economic lead here. 24k to 15, just for a turn though, as this one will flip. I mean, it's still going to be a huge, just not a 9k lead. Oh, it's not going to flip this turn. Okay. This infantry does sack itself in to prolong this cap. So we will have a 9k lead for one turn here. And it'll be a 7k lead. Still enormous. As well as 40k units up, or unit value up. At the end of Sami's turn, but still, that's a lot. Von Bolt in emergency mode here, which is going to be, I assume, make a big death ball and then push on something. No, Von Bolt's just going to resign. It's a fine resign because things are looking really dicey. It'd be pretty much the only thing you can do is try and just go for another like HQ rush with everything, with a triple rocket stuff backing it up, but even then it's just gonna end terribly. So GG. I think Von Bolt had a pretty decent position in the game until the attack up here, and then moving in for an HQ race I think was ultimately a mistake. Unless Sami had tried to stick around and like go for it over here while being down so much in charge, then I think it might have worked out for Von Bolt. Yeah, the front switch was too good. Maybe just one rocket would have been enough too. Triple rocket is just so much investment. My vacay was pretty nice. Would recommend. I did unfortunately time out of a game while I was in an airplane, but it is gonna happen sometime. Naberius Buster versus Edgar on Moonshot. Adder versus Sasha. Oh, this is a Glenstorm Cup. So this is a high funds game. Well, we'll see how this Naberius Buster's Adder versus Edgar's Sasha plays out. If it's anything like my Sasha versus Adder game or not. People have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the map that Walker made, but then put it onto Havitz's account so that he wouldn't get hit by any of the like map hate messages, as there can be quite a few. But then people didn't hate the map, they loved it. And so there was a ton of comments going towards Havitz of like, wow, I love this map. And Havitz being like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. It still baffles you how far Sasha falls in high funds in the high fund mode. Yeah. Watch out for sharp lines and new maps. True, true, true. Oh, Naberius Buster's in the chat. Okay. You love how the bases are centered. Round one tournament map. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. It does look like there could be some fancy plays with the center here. Landers look really good to me, but I don't even know if the game quite reaches that state. We do have like these airports pre-owned with the transport copters chilling on them. If you're wondering like what, okay. If you're wondering like what is going on with the start of this map, where like Cobalt Ice is owning 2 bases in the center already, and Yellow Comet has 0. It's all FTA, like a turn advantage balancing stuff. So the idea is that for one, Cobalt Ice is never going to get the build out of this base because Yellow Comet goes first here. So Yellow Comet goes first, starts capturing the base, which means they're standing on the base so nothing can get built. If for some reason Yellow Comet like went capture this base, capture this city, then that would just be like straight up GG. But no. That's not what's going to happen here. Capture. So what's going to happen is Cobalt Ice gets 1 turn of income out of this base, and then it's going to build an infantry out of this base. So if we look at how these turns, like just the center is going to look here. So right now they both have 2 infantry. Cobalt Ice is ahead on this base, already produced from it and everything. And then Yellow Comet is ahead on the other base because it's now owned and Cobalt Ice doesn't have this one yet. So each player is ahead on 1 base in the center. It just looks really funky, but it does that the whole be half a turn ahead thing. Where like now this base for Cobalt Ice is ahead, but this one was ahead for Yellow Comet. It's all working as intended. But High Funds makes all of the turn balancing stuff look even more wonky because I need to balance that extra income you can get at the very start of the game. A lot of people hated that map. Aww. Okay, so both players go for a very early anti-air. It looks like that is with the intention of scaring this T-copter off of the airport. And they're both just going to do that. I'm not sure how valuable that is. I guess I'm going to find out. Because while you do scare the T-copter off of the airport, so now you can build from the airport. Now they've got a T-copter, and they kind of want to do that early on. They want their T-copter early on to do transport stuff. Okay, we're going to go for the copter right away, which does make sense if you're scaring them off of your airport. You want to be utilizing it. This is also mixed base. We have these kind of isolated bases over here, trying to develop as much as they can. They're both going to build a tank in anticipation of this incoming anti-air. It's a very mirrored production so far. Ooh, the tank is not going to deal with the anti-air. I guess it's scared of the copter. First copter privilege. The prophylactic anti-air is built over here to help defend against where this copter could go, and then the copter just goes somewhere else, and then the anti-air feels a little silly. But that's just how these things go. We do have the APC built right away. Transport copter moving on its merry way over to this double base situation, it looks like. Well, Edgar is going to use it for this base. Guard the artillery against the tank. The tank here. So vehicle is kind of forced out here. So otherwise the anti-air can start being funny. Right, copter coming from the airport straight up here. This is now going to force an anti-air. Fortunately, there's a tank and artillery already here, so it's not like dire straits. Ooh, just gonna build a mech. Okay. And then a mech over here. This mech has got a long way to go, unless the idea is to build a boat. Okay. Infantry marching forward. We're gonna stare down that poor innocent city. Hop in the T-copter. Get a copter strike over here. I kind of like that. With like, I like that paired with the transport copter. Probably like going here, dropping out an infantry here. Anti-air comes over, and then this harbor is under a lot of threat of being flipped. Tank strikes over here. Tank dissuades this anti-air. Okay, putting it there also works. It does look to be the plan, it's just to take the harbor. Naberius Buster could build something on the harbor, and that will, of course, keep her protected, but there's not too many cheap things to build. And you gotta be really concerned about if you build like a lander, which is like the first thing that would come to my mind, so you could start landering stuff from these double bases on the shoals. You gotta keep in mind that the unit can block this tile off, and then you're in a lot of trouble, because then your lander's just kind of stuck there as like an artillery comes over to take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Copters can try and dissuade that kind of shenanigans, but it looks like it's not going to happen. So this harbor is going to get flipped. Well, this one probably will get flipped eventually, but not yet. We got a bunch of artillery coming out here for Edgar. Now goes the harbor. We do have, I mean, the copters could go in here. It would just be kind of a dangerous brawl. Various Buster clustered together up here. Overall, I think they got pretty similar capture phases out of these bases. Yeah. They just got like these two immediate cities. They got this city. They got the harbor. Just this harbor's going to flip immediately. How worthwhile is it to burst the central pipe seam? I would imagine it's very worthwhile. because double bases are really strong, and being able to immediately unload them onto a whole nother front. Especially because I can only imagine that this one base dies really quickly. Currently, it looks like only Edgar's really thinking about killing the one base. I'm not sure what Naberius Buster is doing with this anti-air. I guess it's just being really defensive. Okay. Copters are like, it was a little silly of us to go up there. So we'll go down here and start going after the one base. I like that. Ooh, okay. So we have... Interesting. Okay, nice. So we had the copter. It hit both of these pipe seams. So that means that 2 artillery shots can kill any one of the pipe seams. So it looks like the plan is to go artillery, kill this pipe seam, mega tank, kill this pipe seam. And then suddenly, Naberius Buster's got 2 bases completely free to attack onto this front, which would be really good, especially if Edgar's is going to be too slow at killing this base. Naberius Buster can just kind of keep it alive by connecting it with the double base. Edgar does have the double harbor here. Could go for like something wild like a battleship, but would not recommend because for one, it's locked in by Shoal, and 2, mega tanks are actually not the worst things at fighting battleships. Sasha is like bottom tier in high funds, but she still has some functionality. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with trying to maintain as large of a unit count on your one base there for as long as possible. If you've got all these rescue forces coming in. So Edgar is looking pretty good income wise here. It looks like Edgar has, is it 11? No. 21. The 21 properties versus 17, really? That's pretty good. Although Naberius Buster is capturing a whole bunch of them right now, so it's going to catch up really quick. It's true. We have a bomber. Prophylactic bomber. I say that because it doesn't really have amazing targets right now. There's no like neo tanks. Neo tanks and medium tanks and like battleships are what bombers like. They don't really like fighting the megas. The Edgar's just kind of pumping out over here. I'm not convinced on these on this mega train. It's going to take them quite a while to get anywhere, but once they get there, they're going to be very imposing. Okay, Edgar trying to take this property. Looks like probably going to get it. Goes for this property. Maintain a really nice income lead. Mega clears an infantry. Go for a copter for a strike over here. Naberius Buster. Ooh, hit this tank. We're trying to get for a power or something. Strike this tank. We are going for power. Side slip. Okay. For a tank strike. Followed by a tank strike. That does help because now this tank isn't kind of getting quite so walloped. I mean, this tank will still be able to go for a nice first strike. This copter's still going to die most likely. Bomber does get itself nicely centralized. Anti-air does take out the transport copter. Oh, okay. Saving the city. I like it. I'm surprised this anti-air went in there. Doesn't that just open itself up to... I guess you have to double max over here. Okay, ooh, okay, we are going to try and deny this capture now that the mega tank is connected. Alright, alright. Huge power turn for Naberius Buster here. Saves the city. Saves the city, starts capturing the city. Get some nice first strikes over here. We're going to go for the market crash right away here for Edgar. Decides to build a black boat from the harbor. Finishes off that copter. Alright, has the artillery getting into position to break the pipe seam, it looks like. Takes out this copter. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Probably should have done it from over here. You don't really want the tank to be able to come in and smack the anti-air like that. Down goes that anti-air. Like, losing the anti-air over here is kind of bad, but not the worst thing, because the copters aren't really in a great position to punish that kind of like losing an anti-air on this front. There's still this one in between the copters and the army, or like where the copters would like to go. Megas are so slow. We have a fighter on the way. Okay. Lab starts getting captured. Where's the second? Okay. Oh, there's the second lab. Okay. So labs, they work. If you have 0 labs, you lose the game. Unlike HQs, where if you lose any HQ, you lose the game. It was actually useful for Edgar to pop the power. I think it was okay for the stats. It also drains any excess charge the adder had. Ooh. Bomber dives on in there. It's just out of range of the fighter. Assume we're gonna block, yeah, with the mega tank. Nice. Yeah, getting the anti-air hit here. Kinda rough. Currently, Edgar is completely out of infantry on the bottom. So that means that all of the properties down here can pretty much only be contested. They can never really be captured until the foot soldier count gets increased. Just because vehicles can't capture. Okay, going for a Neo tank. Edgar does get this comm tower here. Does go for the market crash, wiping the charge. Anti-air kills off helicopter. Hit that anti-air. Fighter. This is a scary spot for bombers to be, just because fighters are 2 tiles faster than bombers. So that means for the bomber to get out of the range of the fighter here, it needs to have stuff in between. It can't just like run away. The fighter can always chase it down. Okay, and you're going for more captures. Got the APC ready to pick up over here. Got so many artillery chilling on the 2 base. The Megas have to back up. Ooh, that makes this attack in here really dicey, because now these units are just going to get walloped. They actually don't have any good coverage for them. The anti-air is getting wrecked. Ends up being a pretty good exchange. Naberius goes for the power. Is going to block for the bomber here. Nicely done. Starts capturing. Looks like the tank is going to go up just to block the anti-air from reaching the copter, which is fine. fall back over here. Again, if there's no foot soldiers on the front, you can kind of fall back as far as you want, and you don't really ever get punished because nothing can capture your properties or neutral properties. There's so many vehicles chilling in the 2 base here for Edgar. They really want to get past the shoals, because it's on the shoals that all the blocking can happen, because it's like 1x1 paths. We have a fighter for Naberius Buster as well. This guy can't quite get in there. Oof. Oh man, the poor double megas, they just can't find a good target. It looks like Naberius Buster has just reached 23 properties against 23 properties. Is it just 23 to 23 now? No, that can't be right. 26, 23 to 26. So Edgar's still up in properties currently. The tactics for Naberius Buster have been really good. Divide and conquer. These poor double mega tanks. Ooh, a Naberius Buster mega tank up here. So when it comes to these mega tank wars, the high funds can kind of transition into. Adder is going to have a really nice advantage in that plus to movement is huge. Mega tanks move 4, and they first strike each other like copters first strike each other. So being able to pump that up to 5 from 4, or sometimes up to 6, you can just kind of zone out the opponent's mega tanks pretty effectively. Another mega down here. Still no foot soldiers available. Desperately, Edgar is trying to get off the shoals here. Jess has a mega tank to break this pipe seam too. This black boat could probably leave to start transporting stuff if it wants to. Ooh. Edgar backs up to start protecting this base. So the Naberius Buster has successfully connected the 1 base to the 2 base. It's going to go for some vehicle sacrifices in order to get a side slip. It's not enough to make the mega reach the other mega, but it will give some other attacks on the map. Oof. The anti-airs start getting picked on over here. Interesting. So the fighter comes down here. This is to be a blocker so that the mega can't reach the Neo. Attack into here. Tag the artillery. I guess it stops it from being a very effective cancel on this capture. It does cost tank its life, but that's probably fine. Bomber zooms on down here. Now this base is looking very much in danger. Fighter's on its way to try and find the bomber, as has been its mission this whole time. Black Belt really doesn't want to get out of the way, even though let the mega go a little tile further. You get to hit this fighter. Bop bop, 2 hits. Neotank first strike. One of these anti-airs. A decent attack over here. The mega's gonna be able to be cut off though, and Edgar's gonna have to make another big purchase on this base. We have not a black boat, but a battleship built by the Naberius Buster as well. Ooh. Wait, decides to go for a Neotank down here. Okay. These 2 megas still haven't gotten much done, but they're inching towards this base. They'd love to shut it down. Okay. Artillery fires on the black boat. Dive in, continuing to go after these artillery. This tank actually living the turn. Down goes the anti-airs. Now there's no more anti-airs over here. There is still this fighter up here, but that can be kind of blocked off with units. And now that means that this fighter can sit here, assuming it can be defended against this fighter. It can sit here and block off all of the vehicles from ever going in this direction. And the copter can help out too. And there you go. I'm not sure if that exactly works to save the fighter, because I think the mega tank does quite a bit of damage to a copter. Like Mega plus Neo probably kills this. But then that would like make it so no units can actually go into this tile to go after these anti-airs. Okay, a bunch of captures go down over here. Just so many fronts are being attacked here. Edgar's in some serious trouble. Still up in unit value, but down by so many units. 11 of which are infantry, though. Hi. I'm not quite sure why that battleship was built. So far, it's hiding from a bomber, but Edgar just resigns. GG. Really good tactics from Naberius Buster. Edgar did a good job of getting the money, as we can see, even at this point, it's still up in unit value, but everything is just so disconnected that a lot of that value never actually got to see combat. GG. Well done. Next we have Sidewinder versus Fluffy. On Puyo, a Sonja mirror. Oh my. I know this map well. Oh, Fluffy, you're going to swap it. Oh, good night, Naberius Buster. Unit count does beat income, it's true. Alright, Fluffy. You want to swap out your map? Your game? What do you want to swap it out for? Live League. It's still Sidewinder versus Sonja. You guys can't escape each other, huh? Yeah, the megas on the side were really painful. They're just too far away from everything. Oh, look at that. You guys are even playing Yellow Comet versus Cobalt Ice. How handy is that? Okay. I assume this is a live game. Judging by the timers, it is. We have got Sonja versus Sonja. Everyone's favorite. Oh. Does this map not have the pipe seams here? Oh, this is the high funds version. Wait, what? No, this is the high funds fog version. Well, no, it's not, because you only have one air. No, you have the double airport, yeah. I think this is the high funds fog version, but played in regular fog. You can tell it's a live game because Fluffy. It's a proto map of Black Boat Confrontation. Yeah. Well, this map always devolved into, at least in High Funds Fog, it devolved into just massive swarms of copters. And it might do that in this mirror too. In regular fog. We've got Fluffy going with the recon. Sidewinder going for the tank. There's two competing Sonja philosophies here. So, it's either do you go for recons, early recons for Sonja, because they get even more vision, so you have like super recons. They're amazing. Or do you go for tanks because Sonja kind of has bad combat stats and you can like skip your early recons in order to get more tanks to make up for the worst combat, and the tanks themselves have 4 vision, so they're almost as good as a regular recon. Looks like Sidewinder is not going down that philosophy though. Isn't just going to spam a bunch of tanks. It is also getting a recon. The worst of both worlds. Use your embarrassment to force you into chat. Oh no, Sidewinder. Okay, so they both go recon tank, just in opposite orders. We have a transport copter coming out for Fluffy, but not for Sidewinder. What we do, it's just a delayed one because of the tank first rather than the recon first. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Rushing the pre-owned corner cities. So mean. So rushing pre-owned cities is something that happens a lot. And it can be very effective. Wait, did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, Sidewinder moved the copter into the wrong spot and it won't reach this city next turn. But you oftentimes rush pre-owned cities if they're available because it's basically worth double a regular city since you gain 1,000 and they lose 1,000. So we have the pre-owned city rush here for Fluffy. If somehow Fluffy also stops Sidewinder from getting the city entirely, that would be amazing. The recons have spotted each other. Tons. Sidewinder is getting so many little boosts out of this. Look at this. Unload. Pop boost over here. I don't think... Boost over here. I don't know if any of these boosts actually matter, but they look very nice. Like, the boost over here doesn't matter. I assume it's just going for the harbor. But, I guess it matters in that it can't actually stand here anymore. So it has to get boosted. Style points matter. True, true, true. Okay, so Fluffy's doing pretty well when looking economically. Vision wise, they've both kind of got pretty forward recons here. Tanks staring at each other on these properties. It's very unlikely that you're going to see a Sonja try and go for a first strike on a tank. Look at the value. We have a triple swing on the recon up there. Copters are not the best at taking out recons. I mean, they win in a straight up fight, but they're not like tanks that will set up for kills on recons. We do hit here. Look at the value here. So is this almost equal value in like Lost? Oh my gosh, the recon's value is intense. So it survives. It does 2 damage to a recon, a damage to a copter, and it injures 2 of the most forward infantry. So that's going to slow down captures. I mean, that recon definitely paid for itself. That was all without a comm tower too. But that's an example of why you don't usually see Sonjas diving in on opposing Sonja units that are standing on these nice juicy properties, because that extra counterattack damage is really good, especially when Sonja can just completely low roll the attacks. Oh my gosh. Fluffy getting away with murder here. Recon even got to attack and survive. Well, as we all know, Fluffy is very, very lucky when it comes to Sonja rolls. Oof. Oof. So this is kind of what you... I think it could be even worse than this, but this is kind of what you expect when Sonjas go for like the 2 hits. So if you have one comm tower in your most COs, you have a 30% chance of clearing the city, but you'll like always knock them down to 1. But, so it looks like the 2 infantry attack in, they do a total of 8 damage, and they take a total of 6, so they barely go positive with 2 attacks. And yeah, with one comm tower, it's still possible for Sonja to clear an infantry on the city. It's just insanely unlikely. I don't know what the odds would be, like 1% or something like that. Well, you can see that it worked out way better for Fluffy than it did for Sidewinder. So down here for Sidewinder, Sidewinder failed to get the kill on the infantry, and Fluffy took less damage on the counterattack here. So it's just that good. It's just that good. And anyway, that's why you don't... I think Sidewinder just kind of gets wrecked here, right? Recon goes down, tank goes down. Even get to like start blocking over here. There's nothing to deal with the cop. Never mind, here's the anti-air. Yeah, so that's why you don't fight Fluffy in Sonja mirrors, because Fluffy has post-patch Sonja, who doesn't have bad luck. It's going to be a patch at some point in the future. They're going to remove the bad luck of Sonja, and Fluffy just gets to play with that Sonja forever. Did you get the kill on the tank? I think there's a chance that wouldn't kill. But yeah, the anti-air is here. We've got tanks to clear the tanks to make way for this copter. Sidewinder trying to recover from the luck roll. It's just a Sonja moment, yeah. Look at that. Fluffy doesn't even have to check to see if anything's in these woods. It's been envisioned this whole time, but Fluffy was probably like alt-tabbed, not even watching the turn. Hi, Josh, of course. Just being extra safe. Everything gets cleared up there. We have a wall form. Everything over here is getting wrecked by a single recon. Sidewinder resigns. I would also resign. That was pretty brutal. I think things were looking pretty decent until the break on that city. And the corner property coming in online later also hurt a little bit, but not that much. But my goodness, How would they nerf Olaf? Oh, Drake. Well, you know, it all depends on who's at the reins for the changes. How'd they nerf Drake? There's different generations of players that care about different things. Like, I came into the game never playing the cartridges, so I don't really care about the cartridge accuracy. I care more about enjoying the game. Why did you choose this replay, Fluffy? Wow. That is a pretty big, I mean, his copters will, I mean, they'll be a little bit worse for sure. I'm surprised they reduced his naval defense. That's gonna, it's not like gonna matter that much in fog. I mean, it'll matter a little bit in fog because of the black boats on the HQs, but it's gonna matter a lot in high funds. Rappers. Fluffy is evil. Okay, we got Subway versus Super 5125. Kindle versus Eagle. Is Kindle tier 2 on this map? No worries, no worries. And no, Kindle was tier 2. Oh, the emote is visible. Oh, snap. Now Drake fighters can't first strike enemy fighters and come out on top? That's pretty bad. Okay, Kindle is tier 2. Okay. I mean, there's no air units. So Eagle... Eagle technically is just a negative day-to-day and then a really good super. That wasn't my wish. My wish was for the Rachel super to be card accurate so that the infantry missile would stop shooting herself. It was always Kindle tier 2. Oh, wow. Oh, I got my wish for the infantry missile? Hey, look at that. Okay, okay. I like it, I like it. You can thank me for that. You can thank me for that. I wasn't the only one pushing for it. But you can still thank me for it. Yeah, it's supposed to weigh in vehicles, just much less than infantry. It's supposed to do that, yeah. From the cart. I was threatened that they would take away the what's it? How do you, like, negative times a negative makes a positive in the damage calculations? Because it doesn't work like that in the cartridge. With, like, Javier with over 100% defense bonus being attacked by Jugger doing a negative attack to have both of those attributes go together to make a positive damage. I was threatened that would be taken away in the name of card accuracy. It's a very niche thing to happen, though. Ooh, Vombled Super can now hit his own units. Wow. Okay, so Super 5125 going for Eagle here against the Kindle. Kindle went for a recon and sent it directly down. So I assume this is going to be some sort of attempt at the opposing comm tower. Try and get both comm towers. As you can see, this is going to delay this capture and hence also the comm tower, but the tank gets to smack the recon here. Oof, oof. Not only does it smack the recon, it kills the recon. Very nasty. Not the ideal start for the recon. And now the infantry coming down here, they really want to be moving into tank range. Subway's kind of pressured into building a tank here. But this is a quad base map. So if it was a triple base map, then you've got 15Ks enough to go tank infantry. But you need 16K to do that here. So we're going to have like tank artillery, infantry, something like that. You kind of want a tank over here if you're still trying to like pressure this comm tower, which it looks like is the plan. And then we are indeed doing that. We're going tank, artillery, infantry. Super is going to be the same spot, just with a tank already on the field. Going up here, going for a smack on this city. We're not actually going to send another infantry up here. We're just going to go tank. And then you don't have to build an artillery here for super if you don't want to. You could just go triple infantry in order to... It does go to artillery, but you could go triple infantry in order to get more tanks on the following turn. Decides to build the artillery over here. You can kind of try and make itself known in this corner. Well, I can definitely help with this city here. That's for sure. Not right away, but like this infantry can strike and then the artillery can come up. Deny the city capture, although it looks like this guy's going to get this capture should that happen. So we'll see how Super 5125 tries to deal with that. This infantry decided to just continue capturing because we've got the Kindle city power going on here. So if 5125 just clears this city, like with this tank for instance, then this tank could stand on it and get a huge swing in. As is though, we have this backup tank, so it could clear and then this tank just goes onto the city and smacks here. Looks like what we're going to have happen. It does mean that Kindle can go for a double tank strike, like one from the forest, one from the plains. Might happen. We do get this infantry cleared. Currently, Super 5125 has both corners, which is nice, although I think this one's probably going to fall. Depending on how Subway decides to go about this, go for another artillery. Same buy as last turn, way up in unit value. We're going to contest this bomb tower. Okay, artillery fires. Strike over here. So many infantry coming in from Super 5125. Yeah, striking here makes sense. Put this guy down to 1 so it can't actually deny the city capture. And then Subway just going to get that. Ooh, okay, so the tanks decided not to continue the fight over this central property, which is very good for Super 5125. Instead, they're going to go off and contest these other fronts, which is, you know, going to get stuff done. But it does mean that these tanks are going to be pretty happy over here, and that the city will probably end up falling. Very good to just bring this back as a nice little blocker. Okay. Gonna dive in on all of these infantry. It looks like we're not going to be building anything super durable from here. It could have been a mech. Just going to go with an infantry, which is fine. Going to clear that guy out. Back away from the infantry in the city. Sounds good to me. Looks like this tank is coming down here because we have the threat of the double infantry strikes against this comm tower. That is exactly what we're going to do. A lot of tanks in transit here. We could like try and surround this tank here as an option, but there's too much stuff over here for Subway to free it, so I think it's just going to be falling back. I mean, Eagle's viable. He's just kind of technically negative day-to-day because there is a harbor, but he's mostly a no day-to-day with an amazing super. He's kind of like Andy in this matchup. I've never found contesting the comm tower to be that viable. It looks like it's kind of working for Kindle here. Okay. Super 5125 keeping a nice econ lead here. Is down the comm tower as we've seen. Gets a tank shot. Getting somewhat close to an urban blight. Oh my gosh, entering into the mech spam. The problem the mech spam is going to run into is that it's going to take a long time for these mechs to really start impacting these fronts. And in the meantime, stuff can start happening around the map. I'm a little surprised that this tank just stood here and shot like this with this guy going onto the mountain. I think you could probably go for a tank shot from the plains, right? These guys don't reach. I mean, you can go plains. You can go tank if you want. Clear this and then have this guy go for the comm tower next turn. As is, it can get interrupted. But I guess the idea is that it would get interrupted anyway because of the urban blight. But I mean, the mechs, while they're slow, they do have a little bit of a timer going on for getting the comm tower. You don't really want to be fighting against those mechs on those mountains. Okay, Kindle really diving in here with all these tanks. Well, there's only 3 tanks counterattacking. You go for the urban blight. Continue to deny this comm tower. Okay. Oh, there's 4 tanks. 5 tanks. Okay, never mind. There's more. This guy can't quite get through. I guess there's 4 tanks. But yeah. When you attack into the base range, you have to think more than just how many tanks are there. You have to also think about what's about to be built. The medium tank is going to make this fight real nasty for Kindle. We currently have 3k income for not owning a comm tower. Or for, I guess, being up a comm tower. It's sort of working out. These tanks are just going to get wiped out next turn. Gonna try and block to protect them. Oh, Kindle's out of time. Did get most of the get all the buys in though, so that's good. Tanks get wiped out. Medium tank on this front. The artillery's not actually covering. Eagle's getting really close to a super. Still has 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. We do have the mechs. They've made it down to the mountains of the comm tower. So I guess Kindle is going to successfully deny the comm tower for the game. Have a good one, Fluffy. You got one. Okay, we have a medium tank built over here. They'll run out of time again. That kind of happens a lot. when these timers get so low. Oh no, this mech is in range of the artillery. He gets smacked. Ooh. I would say that's a dodgy attack, but because Eagle can just use the super here, it's not actually going to be in any danger. It can just kind of move out of artillery range. You have a whole bunch of attacks that go in here. It's really nice getting double turns, as any Eagle player will tell you, and anyone that fights Eagle will say it's the worst thing ever. At least personally, I find it one of the worst things to have to fight against. Looks like not quite everything got done on Eagle's turn. Ran out of time, but a huge lead. We do get the Urban Blight. Oh. The tank even lives, so the 4 health tank can't hit the artillery. The mechs did make it to the comm tower. But by golly, does Eagle have a lot of units to attack with here. Does decide to start denying this, or try to deny this. The mechs are actually looking really good for capturing that. It's just that everywhere else, Eagle's looking very strong. Didn't have anything built here, so Kindle is going to get this comm tower. He's going to have the double comm tower going. We do have the Urban Blight. Shoot the medium tank. Eagle's really far ahead in unit count, but the unit value is starting to actually shift into Kindle's advantage here. If Eagle starts running out of time too much, then a lot of this aggression around like the base could fall apart. Got the double medium tank on the way. Start capturing the city. Take out the artillery. That's good. Start capturing the HQ. That's going to put a lot of pressure. As the artillery, it's next to a mech, but it's a 2 health mech. Sights on the base. Builds a tank down here. Does run out of time. Still looking pretty good in terms of all the metrics, though. Comm tower is going to fall next turn. DC starts falling. Medium tanks do break through. Let this tank step off of the base so we can hit an infantry or go back here if it wants to. And then I guess the medium tank probably gets built over here. Indeed it does. Not an amazing situation for for this attacking army up here to deal with triple medium tank. Does manage to save these cities from flipping, as that would be absolutely disastrous. Artillery start trying to build up into an unstoppable little death ball. A very cost-effective way to deal with the medium tanks if that ends up being possible. The city's getting close to flipping for Kindle. We do get the comm tower, start capturing this city as well. Absolutely wild if Kindle somehow manages to salvage this. The tank and the infantry going down here. This is where this base starts getting super overloaded. Medium tank goes down here. We have the 2 going up here. Build another medium tank, and then just like an infantry here. Nothing out of these 2 bases. A little dicey for sure. Go for the medium tank first. Strike Super 5. 125 would like to get a normal or a super here. Is going to go for some sacks. I don't think it's quite going to happen. Oh, no, it does. There was another tank attack I didn't see. So we do get the super, which means all of these artillery are going to get to fire again on all of these medium tanks. Bam, bam, bam. And then suddenly the defending forces for Subway 1 are in tatters. Oh, but 5125 runs out of time. Nothing over here got to act again. Only one thing over here got to act. It doesn't actually save this city. We get the urban blight. Start the capture. Join Captus with mechs. I mean, the mechs ended up doing a lot of work down here. I can't deny that. Medium tank clears up the artillery over here. The attack over up here still looks absolutely disastrous. But at least there gets to be a tank strike on the artillery. Assume it has to build... Ooh, just a tank. I think this base is about to fall. Even with the... Oh, no. Interesting. Decides to fire with the 4 health. I think maybe the 2 health plus... I guess there's no comm tower, so maybe it doesn't work to go just 2 health. Medium tank kills this. Kills that tank. Is going to surround this tank, I assume. Builds another artillery. Infantry trying to make their way in here. We actually have Kindle take the... Not the unit count lead, no way, but the income lead here. (21 to 18). Has some infantry going down here to go for some captures. Keeps building medium tanks from this base. Even ends the turn with 20 seconds left on the clock. We have so much pressuring this base, though. There wasn't anything actually built to save it. It does fall. It starts getting captured. There's no like indirects to fight this or like even infantry to walk onto the river. So that's just going to start getting captured. HQ starts falling. Artillery getting into position for some really good value swings. We're going to go for an urban blight. Take out the recon. I mean, the attack force down here worked out way better than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so all... Oof, huge swings. All Kindle has to do... I mean, fortunately, almost everything over here is heavily injured, so this base isn't going to be captured anytime soon. All Kindle has to do is weather this attack, and then things should be golden. And since it's not getting any more reinforcing buys, that should be possible. There's maybe not though. Only 2 vehicles is just not enough. Like the mech is gonna have to step down here, kill the 1 health infantry, and then like medium tank strikes. And then strike from the HQ. But it doesn't get the kill because it's HQ extra defense. And all the artillery get to fire. Uh-oh. We build the Neo tank. The unit count is so dire up here for Kindle. Now this base is going to actually fall. Medium tanks torn to shreds. Get the urban blight. It's not going to stop the... Oh, the mech can then step on there. Knocked it down to 1. Okay, it's somewhat saved. Build another medium tank. The Neo tank does have to move into double artillery range in order to get that kill, though. And then this artillery just shoots the mech. If the mech had gotten that kill, then that base wouldn't be getting captured. We do have an attack coming in through up here, though. Oh, I mean, we have the Eagle Super, though, so... Everything's going to get cleared up here. Lightning strike. The artilleries are getting low on ammo, but they're not out of ammo. Everything's killed off. Next turn, this is getting captured no matter what. Medium tank goes in against the mechs. Get the strike over here. So this base is going to fall. If somehow Kindle is able to stay in this game with this base captured, then that is just going to be absolutely wild. We do have a huge income disparity. So there's that potential. And a lot of pressure up here as well for Kindle. It's kind of just the standing artillery that are doing the most right now. So the base does fall. It can build an infantry and have it immediately in range of going for the HQ. Like on by. Time-wise, both players have kind of recouped a lot. City under threat. There's no artillery left over here for this attack, so it's just a bunch of infantry. Kindle in pure medium tank spam mode. Artillery say yum yum. What do we decide to build from here? It can be infantry, it can be artillery. There's so many things. I mean, even tanks and like rockets would be amazing. You build the rockets immediately looking at the opposing base. Just decides to go for an artillery. There is already an infantry ready to start capturing this HQ. Kindle's doing pretty well down here, but that's not where the HQ is. Just for the strike there. Even join cap it. The join cap was do not join cap this. What you would do instead is you would move this infantry off and you would stand it right here, so it's blocking one of the avenues that Kindle would like to move, and then you just put the new infantry there to capture, because the join cap also puts it at 10. No point in join capping that unless you want 100 funds. Yeah, so instead of an 8 health artillery being there, it could be a 1 health infantry. But that's okay. Timer and everything. We have the Urban Blight. Delays capture. Clears the HQ. There isn't a full health infantry in range to start the HQ capture again. And there's still a lot of pressure going on down here. Although it looks like Eagle is managing to salvage the situation. I am really surprised that Kindle resigned there. Because while this situation does look awful, Kindle does still have the property count lead, and its day 30 is the limit. So, I mean, maybe like this city's too difficult to really stop from getting like captured, but Kindle's still technically in the winning position. Talk about an all-out brawl, though. My goodness. GG. Well, that's going to be the end of the stream for the day. I hope everyone enjoyed. I'll be back on Wednesday, which is also my first day for work in a while, as it's not the return for the students, but the return for the staff. We'll still have our stream, no worries. I hope everyone enjoyed. Here is your apple for the day. And thanks for watching.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's his thing.